Hey y'all, Daniel Gaines here. Just here with a brief little update. The reason I haven't posted about the case law and everything yet is because since it is stuff I'm going to be using in court, I don't want to reveal that too early. Some of it's known, some of it's not, so I'm going to wait until after the trial, which is next week, and then I'll be posting everything, all things in their entirety. However, I'm on here today because today I was finally served a protective order, the extension of it anyway, and Andy Sides was served his summons, or his subpoena, to appear as a defense witness at the trial today. Well, while the person was there serving Andy Sides, he had an officer ambush that person, asking if I was there because they're falsely claiming I'm self-serving, even though it's a violation of state law to do. But since that's what they're claiming, they thought I was going to be there for some reason, even though I never said I would be. But on camera, because the person was wearing my body camera, on camera, the officer straight said that Carl Yates is known to engage in treasonous conduct from the bench. He admitted this. He said Carl Yates will hold protective order hearings even if people haven't been served. The officer straight said, I don't care if I serve them or not. All I have to do is put refuse service and Carl Yates will hold the hearing anyway without them being served. Funny thing is, the first time this clown showed up to serve me, he was told I wasn't here, spoke to him on the phone, told him I wasn't home, but told him he had consent to serve my old lady, and state law allows for anyone in the home over the age of 15 to be served. Gave him consent to serve my old lady. He said, policy states I have to serve you directly because our policy and the judge prefers we serve people directly so they can't claim anything. Well, if service is rendered properly to somebody at the address, they can't anyway. Service was rendered properly under state law. When I informed the officer that state law allows him to serve my old lady instead of me, he said he can't comply with state law because his policy says he can't. So this is just further proof of the dumbass gave me that shows the sheriff's department really does think under Dave Marshak's lead and Andy Sides' lead, they really do train their officers that policy supersedes law, even if it leads to a direct violation of your rights. See, the 14th Amendment's due process clause, if you look at the due process requirements, especially what the courts have said as it relates to service of process has to be full and complete. It has to have strict compliance with the law. Missouri law says 7 days minimum notice for a protective order. If I was served on Monday, September 9th, 7 days would mean the hearing cannot be before September 16th. And since the 16th is the trial, protective order can't be heard until before the 17th at the earliest, and that's if the trial concludes in 1 day. Otherwise, it pushes the protective order back till the 18th. Now, it's not my fault I wasn't served. I told the guy to go ahead. He's the one that believed policy supersedes the law and my constitutional rights. I can't control that. And the courts are getting the evidence, so in due time, I'll play the recordings for you so y'all can see this too. So, but yeah, the officer literally admitted on body cam that all he has to do is put refuse service. He doesn't have to provide any proof. He just has to claim you refuse service, even if he didn't serve you, because he said, I don't care if I serve him or not. The hearing's Thursday. Even if he don't serve and he falsifies it, puts refuse service, Carl Yates will ignore the fucking law, violate your rights, which if you look up Missouri's treason statute, that's warring against the people and the state, because he owes his allegiance to the state as a judge. So that's treasonous conduct. And an officer admitted on video that he's known to do this. So the statute requires 2 witnesses. Well, there were several people in the courtroom that day with me in the protective order, and clearly there's numerous officers that know about it too. So I've got 2 motions that'll be filed into Carl Yates One is for his disqualification, citing treason and other reasons. And the other one is for the continuance because, well, they chose not to serve me. I told the clown he could, and I have proof. He refused, not me. I can't be held accountable for that. I can't be held responsible or liable for his refusal to serve. Further, knowing of something, the Supreme Court's been clear about this several times over. Knowing about something because you find it or somebody brings it to your attention does not equal service of process. Ever. Fucking dumbass Carl Yates. Know that, you stupid fucking bitch. In my documents, I don't even call this punk ass motherfucker a judge. The only time I do is whenever I'm saying even a corrupt fucking judge like Carl Yates should know or understand. Otherwise, it's simply Carl Yates and even Yates. I accuse him of treason and everything else in documents that are going to be filed with the courts. And it's to establish the record. Because all of this is getting appealed all the way to the fucking federal circuit. Every bit of it. I don't care about winning or losing anymore. Not in the state courts. These judges have proven who the fuck they are and what they are. Treasonous fucking commie scum buckets. I miss the good old days. I was never around. But in the 1800s, early 1800s, judges who engaged in this in England, not in the US, but in England, they were skinned alive. In America, they were just strung up before they abolished hanging in the public square. But there used to be accountability for judges who engaged in this type of stuff. That's what I miss. Not necessarily the gratuitous violence, and I don't advocate for violence at all, in fact, but I miss the days when there was actually accountability for these clowns. But I guess I have no choice but to settle with engaging in these talks that I'm already engaged with the U.S. attorney to appear before a federal grand jury to present all of this to a federal grand jury, since county courts, prosecutor, and everybody else refuses to allow me to appear before a state grand jury. I'm forced to reach out to the U.S. attorney for a federal grand jury. And the part for them that they probably fucked up with, I know far more federal code than I do state statutes. And I mean by far. You're talking thousands more, in fact. And other statutes federal that I'm very, very familiar with are RICO. Yeah. Probably not smart for them to force me to try to seek a federal grand jury over these issues, especially when all of these fucks are guilty of numerous RICO violations. So, yeah. That's all I got. Wait till y'all hear this audio recording and see this video. This officer changed his story. On the phone, he claimed it was his policy. Today, he said, no, I never said that. I said it's because my sergeant. He's already changed his story because he knows he's fucked. But it's all going to go public. It'll be filed with the courts this week. And when it gets filed, I'll be making those videos public. Even before there's a court hearing to address them, I'll be making them public. I'm sick of these people's fucking lies. So I'm exposing them, like I've said. And I'm going to do everything I can to ensure they're held to account, one way or another. And if that means I have to go through the federal system to do it, then so be it. Fuck these ass clowns. Fuck their feelings. Fuck their families. Fuck them all. And I'm forced into this. It sounds harsh. I agree. I don't deny it. I sound like a complete fucking dick. I agree. I don't deny it. But it's kind of pathetic when you're forced into this. Wait till y'all see everything in its entirety. Just wait. You'll understand. You'll see that it's really not so much made up in my head as they like to claim it is, or you might be prone to think it is. Believe me, as I've said, I've even questioned things numerous fucking times over these last 20 years. And every time I start to question if I really am just fucking imagining it all, more and more evidence comes up. Let me ask you people this. Have you ever heard of someone suing a judge and then that judge trying to preside over a case involving the person who sued them? Automatically a judge should disqualify in that circumstances because the appearance of impropriety alone is unconstitutionally too high to allow a judge to stay. Carl Yates is trying to do just that. He's refused to disqualify from this case and he's trying to preside over it again. Weird how that works, huh? He's already retaliated against me by sicking federal state agencies on me in the hopes that I get arrested or prosecuted or something to that effect. His attempts failed, but I have the proof that he tried, and it's going to the courts and the feds. So the fact that he's trying to stay on this case automatically equates to further retaliation on his part. And that's the type of bullshit y'all need to be aware of as the public. The public should be aware of this. Rachel Montgomery is engaging in an abusive process, and Carl Yates is abusing the law, his authority, his discretion, his power, and citizens' rights to facilitate the personal vendettas of public servants, contrary to every legal tenet he's obligated to, including his oath of office. He gets called out hard in the court document, and I won't appear in his courtroom. Fuck that fat bastard. I shouldn't say that. That's not right. However, he also shouldn't be doing what he does. And to be fair, he has lost considerable weight since 10 years ago whenever I knew him. So, get healthy, dude. Do you. I apologize for that. I shouldn't make comments like that. Even if it is true, I shouldn't say it because it's not fair or right to say comments like that. But that's the only comment I apologize for. Fuck you. For the rest of it. So, but yeah. Anyway, just figured I'd give you all a little update. Sorry my anger gets in the way sometimes. It causes my language to get a little out of control. And I know that's a bit off-putting. But again, I have a foul mouth anyway. And this shit just brings it out more. Because all the shit I can prove. And again, I don't expect y'all to believe me. Anybody can come on here and say, oh, they did this, they did that, they did this, they did that. Anybody can. Doesn't make it true. Doesn't mean a damn word that they're saying is true. However, I've made some pretty bold claims and shown evidence to prove some of them actually are true. And come next week, when I start posting case law, y'all will see just how much more of what I've said is actually supported by the Constitution and the Supreme Court of the United States. Well, the federal circuit, federal district, federal appellate courts, and the Supreme Court. But you'll see a lot of case law from them. You'll even be seeing some case law from the state of Missouri, which proves some of the shit I've been saying about these fucks violating state law. So, I'm going to prove it all. I'm not one of those people who just claims things just to say them. I don't talk for the sake of hearing myself speak. I don't make a claim I can't prove. And these people are about to learn that the hard way. Y'all have a good day.